that our pets are critical. It breaks our hearts when we read stories of difficulty. Many of us know, and I know that I recently shared with you, I do some public affairs programming here at Clear Channel, and I've actually spent quite a bit of time talking about animals, animal rescues, adoptions, pet fairs, that kind of thing, because we need to take care of all. We talked about the open talks about community. Part of that community certainly must include our furry friends, and they are our friends. Anybody that has a pet, no matter what kind of pet that is, knows that they love unconditionally. You know what? I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. When I come home every day, my dog acts like I've been gone for a year and is so excited to see me and loves me so much. How can you not enjoy that? Well, not everybody can. And listen, there are a variety of reasons why people abandon their pets, especially in difficult economies. Some are runaways, some are just strays. Well, an interesting thing happened last week, and I'm going to share a story with you and actually welcome a couple guests to the show. Let me set this up very briefly. My first guest of the two is Andy DiDeRossi. Andy is the founder of the Detroit Bus Company. He did something extraordinary. Yep, not just paying attention. As he was driving one of his buses, he came across a stray animal that obviously was in need, and he stopped his bus, coaxed the dog onto his bus, realized that there were some physical issues, and reached out to a group that has actually become very, very important. They're entitled Dog Aid. And Dog Aid is a group of 8 women that founded this wonderful, wonderful organization that helps those animals in need. And one of their founders is Alexis Richards, who will join us in just a minute. But let me first welcome and say good morning to Andy DiDeRossi. And Andy, thanks so much for being with us on First Shift this morning.
No problem.
You know, I got it. Let's tell this story a little bit. We've got some time here. How did this all begin for you?
Yeah, so I was. I'll flesh things out a little bit. I was driving in the North End neighborhood in Detroit, and she ran in front of my bus. And it was a really cold day. It was earlier last week. It was very, very cold. And when she ran in front of the bus, and when I stopped, she was curled up on the sidewalk. And I went over there, and I took a look at her. She wasn't doing so hot, and so I thought, okay, well, I'll get her to a rescue of some kind. So I went in the bus and I found the meatiest smelling thing that I could, and I found a beef jerky wrapper. It was the thing that I found that I figured to be most attractive to her. And so I get her attention, but she's not really getting on the bus at this point. So we go over to the party store, and we get a can of hold on one moment. We get a can of Alpo to try to attract her onto the bus. And that did it. She was like, "Yes, this is excellent." So I get her onto the bus, and we're rolling, and she's like curled up on the transmission tunnel for the warmth, and she's looking very bad at this point. So I call Alexis with Dog Aid, and we agree to meet at my shop. They get over there, and they thought that she was pregnant. And so we were all, very excited. I put a little donation page up on the site. And it turns out she wasn't pregnant. She had starvation belly. And so her belly was all full of crud, like garbage, and she was really dehydrated. So they got her over to that. And in the meantime, 220 people donated $6,700 so far towards her care.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, Andy, I got to ask the obvious question before we turn our attention to Alexis Richards here in just a second. But why did you feel compelled to stop your bus and take care of this animal? I mean, you could have obviously easily just driven on. Do you have a particular interest in pets, or did you just feel it was your duty?
No, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I was driving over to look at a house. I'm working on moving into Detroit, and I saw this pup, and I just thought that I if anyone should, just stop and see how she's doing. She obviously from the driver's seat looked really bad, and so I just wanted to see how she was doing, and it just kind of went from there. It was just I don't have any particular reason why I did what I did, but
let's call it fate, Andy. Why did you think of Dog Aid to call?
Oh, we worked with them in the past on the Thunderdrome, one of my events at the Derive Velodrome. They came and did an adoption day.
Oh, very good. Well, let's welcome now Alexis Richards to this show. Alexis is a home health care worker and an activist in the best possible way. A mom, obviously someone that loves her animals. And Alexis, thanks for joining us this morning from Dog Aid.
You're welcome. Good morning.
You heard me wax on and on about my dog. There are a lot of really passionate people about their pets out there. Obviously, Alexis, you are one of them.
Absolutely. Yes, there are so many dogs in need out there, and Andy's story is just one of them. We were so thankful to Andy for saving her. Like he said, she was in really bad shape. Severely emaciated, all of her bones showing. She had just recently given birth. Our vet suspects probably 2 weeks prior to Andy saving her, and unfortunately due to her body condition, that those pups probably did not survive. Her system had already started shutting down, and probably another 48 to 72 hours in the street, she would have probably died. So we immediately got her to the vet. We got her system going again, and now she's doing wonderful. We're hoping that she'll make a full recovery. Unfortunately, she's heartworm positive, so we still kind of have a long road to recovery, but that's what we do. We get the dogs healthy, and we get them into wonderful homes.
Well, this is, again, I think this is fate. There's some destiny to this story, and it seems that, and by the way, you guys did name the dog Andy with an I after Andy DiDeRossi, who, of course, was the savior. Andy, in really in a great way, you saved a life. I don't think we should make light of that.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wasn't thinking about any of that kind of stuff. It was just automatic. So, I mean, you wouldn't be able to say no to this face if you saw her. So it was an obvious thing.
Well, Alexis, let's for a moment talk a little bit about Dog Aid and how you guys came to be and the work that you do. And then I'm going to make sure that we get a lot of information out. So if people want to get involved, if they want to donate, if they want to adopt, that we give people an opportunity to do that. How did Dog Aid come about, Alexis?
Well, there is a group of us, there's 8 of us, and we all were working with different rescue organizations. All of the activists that are in dog rescue, we're all on Facebook, and we all friend each other, and we'll chat back and forth. Well, the 8 of us women had started networking with each other. We had started reaching out to each other, asking questions. Well, what would you do? Can you help me with this? And we realized that by working together, it just made everything a lot easier. So in March of 2002, we put together our Facebook page. We started working together, and right off the bat, we just hit the ground running and became very busy. We wanted to focus more on working with the citizens of Detroit and educating them on proper pet ownership, on the importance of spaying and neutering, and we wanted to put in a different component where we would assist the low-income families. Because of the economic downturn in Detroit, many of the citizens have lost their job, but they can't even afford items such as food, collars, leashes, getting their dogs vaccinated. So what we do on a weekly basis is we're out in the city, we're in the neighborhoods, we're talking to the citizens. Do you need anything? We've got a list of families that we provide food for. So on a weekly basis, we'll go out, we'll stop, we'll drop off food. How's your dog doing? If we notice that they have fleas, we will get them flea preventative. We have resources available to us to guide them to low-cost or free clinics. There are sometimes free programs running to get pets spayed and neutered, which is really key. We're trying to get the citizens to get their pets spayed and neutered. This is how we stop unwanted litters and all of these strays on the street.
Absolutely. Let me interrupt for just a second. We have to get to the break. So Alexis Richards and Antonita Rossi, I'd like to ask you both to stay right where you're at, but we have to take a break here. There's much more to get to. I do want to get some information out, though, before we get to the break. On Facebook, you're going to find just search for Dogaide, Dogaide, and you'll find their page, like it, and support them. Their hotline, by the way, 313-744-6DOG, 313-744-6DOG. You can also send an email to dogaide, AIDE, at dogaide.com. Alexis and Andy, stay right where you're at. First shift will continue. If you've got a question or comment on our four-legged furry friends, feel free. 888-552-35.